DarkPulse Inc. stock closed the session of the 19th of July 2021 at $0.1185, a retracement of 19.39%, which was a loss of $0.0285. 181.6 million shares crossed the tape during that session, and it is just average. And there is a disclosure that the company launched, put out there as at the 16th of July, which was Friday during that session. And I think amongst that there was an exhibit there where a recording of an interview the CEO of the company, Dennis O'Leary, had with Everett Jolly of Stock Day. So I'm going to read some of that. It's also what you're looking at on the screen. I may or may not read everything. So obviously we know that DarkPulse is a company that uses advanced laser-based monitoring systems to provide rapid and accurate monitoring of temperatures, strains, and stresses. So Everett Jolly began the interview by noting the company's decision to waive salaries for their management team and board members. And then O'Leary answered, "I believe in running a company extremely lean to the point where it is not going to hinder us, but at the same time, he's not going to bring capital unless that capital gives a multiplier." That's really how he's been running it almost since the beginning. But we have to point out here that it's not this is our own opinion. We don't exactly see the how do I put it now? Running a business and waiving salaries for the management team. Was that what he said? Waiving salary for the management team. By doing that, you are removing certain elements of, you're removing figures from the business that does not give a complete picture about the finances, the financial operations of the company. So if you're waiving salaries, then in some ways, people will be wondering, analysts will be wondering, what will the whole picture look like if the salaries are there. So it is better to include the salaries, pay everybody, what they're supposed to be, but not a lot, So, but in any case, though, we don't exactly know what waiving salaries means, whether it is completely not paying at all. If it's the case, not paying at all, then it's not a plus. Maybe that's why we have seen this retracement we're looking at right now, but we don't exactly know why. But in any case, though, waiving salaries is not good. Everybody has to be paid. Anybody that works has to be paid. Even if it means paying less, and it has to be consistent. So that's not a plus. That's not a good point. In our opinion. So in the interview, he went on to say, "What's going on in Dubai?" We're not going to read that. So and then he was asked, "Could you discuss some of the takeaways from your recent shareholder letter?" Asked Jolly. There are some remaining spaces in terms of acquisitions. The strategy of the company, he had mentioned, is more like a software as a service company. He added, they are actually in a position where they are going to be having some roll-up activity. Their interest is to find companies that are revenue producing, but also capable of expanding their service offerings. They don't want to be just one type technology company. They want to have a broader portfolio of offerings. And then Jolly then commented on the company's significant stock price increase, and then O'Leary answered, "We believe we are on the right trajectory, definitely the right path. There has been forward momentum. We've done what we said we were going to do, and we think the share price reflects that." Okay, so he was asked again, "Could you give new listeners a little bit of a back history of what DarkPulse Inc. does, and where you've headed with that technology?" And O'Leary shared that the company holds a patent in a technique called dark pulsing technology. Currently, systems have been using bright pulsing technique, which does not have the resolution or capabilities that their system offers, which is the dark pulsing technology. They are really a next generation software hardware company offering capabilities that are really not out there at the moment. Okay, so that's just a you'll find a link to this piece we read. It's a transcript of what the CEO said in that Stock Day podcast. So you find it there. So let's go ahead and see what happened. So the stock has we have had this up and down. We can see here from the 8th of probably the 8th of July. It rose, and yes, right, it was that. Okay, from the 8th and 9th of July, it's extended to its 52-week high of what was that, of $0.117, and retraced again thereafter for a couple of sessions down. That retracement was up till the 13th, and then from the 14th it rose again to 0.164, and then since the 15th it has been retracing, even up till the 19th it has been retracing. So, but in any case, still very much. What does it say here? It says it appears to be correcting within a longer term bullish trend, although its MACD is presently below the signal line. Shares remain 437.9% above an upward sloping 200-day moving average. It's also outperforming the S&P 500. We can see that the RSI is waning. Yes, it's now at 54.3, which is a reflection that the momentum. Yes, there is some correction. The 14-period to low stochastic oscillator is also waning as well. But the unbalanced volume indicator definitely is still very much bullish, indicating that buyers haven't really lost interest as such. They're still very much there. So we can see just trading between its 10-day and the 20-day moving averages. So the 10-day moving average in our case is the fastest moving average. Then the 20-day is the medium one. So it's in between the fastest and the average moving average. So technically, yes, it's correcting. It's the sort of thing you want to see with a stock, and by all means, if you want to pick up more, do so. And as a matter of fact, this retracement we are looking at right now is lower than the last one. It has had since this is would I say this is the lowest it has traded since the 7th of July. Since the last 2 weeks, probably since the last 10 trading sessions. So this is the lowest it has traded. So by all means, if you are still interested in picking up more, you can do so. And always with funds you can always afford to lose, or ignore and forget for some time. But in any case, though, there is definitely some correction. And we just pointed out something in that podcast, which is waiving salaries. That's not very wonderful as such, and I don't even see that as the I generally don't think a lot of the folks in the management will be very glad about that. You're working, you have to be paid, and it is important that you paid, because it gives investors and analysts the complete picture of what's going on, and by doing that you are distorting the whole picture, and it will be down to guesswork and all that stuff. So see what you make of that pulse, and let's get going. Thank you very much for watching this video.